It's no easy feat to make it to every fashion party or fashion week, but French fashion blogger Julia Comil does make it to many though. She may be the one invited to things most of the time, but today she's invited us behind the scenes of her fashion blogging world. From how to navigate that frustrating Insta algorithm to mastering Fashion Week, all that on the show next. Welcome to Keeping It Krischic, the show where we keep up with the chicest in film and fashion. I'm your host, Vartan, and I have the absolute pleasure of sitting down with Julia Comil, who is the founder and content creator of fashion blog Mode RSVP. So glad that she RSVP'd to come on the show, because seriously, you guys, her fashion is at the highest caliber. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for this amazing introduction.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, you are phenomenal. I've been following your blog for a couple years now, and you know, back when it was still House of Comil. Yeah, and it changed over. So tell us about that and about the evolution of it.
Exactly. So when I started House of Comil, I wanted to be a place where people speak about fashion, but not only lifestyle. And then I figured out that for me, I was more interested about fashion, and that it's really my voice, you know, like, and in the US, I can bring what I think about French and European fashion. So I thought mode, which means fashion in French, will be, you know, like a great name. And also because I'm invited to a lot of events, I RSVP a lot. And the funny thing about RSVP, it's a French word, which means, it means répondez s'il vous plaît, please answer. My brand, the French girls speaking to the American girls.
That's what fashion is all about, is just kind of bringing out who you are and what you're going to tell the rest of the world.
Exactly. I feel it's very important. It's a way to express yourself. I mean, there are many ways. I feel like building a personality is very important, and not to think only about fashion, but, you know, there are other things than just being well-dressed. But being well-dressed for me is about to say also to express my creativity. I love to dance, so I love to move a certain way. Yeah.
What kind of dancing do you do?
I used to do modern jazz a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so what kind of music would you listen to, like Nat King Cole or like more French jazz?
Yeah, so no, more like American jazz, actually. Wow. I will go to New Orleans very soon, so I'm super excited.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. You should show that on your blog, like maybe your like styles when you're going jazz dancing.
Exactly.
That'd be really cool. Maybe some flowy skirts like you're wearing right now, which is actually a dress, which is really interesting.
Yeah, exactly. It's a dress, but you can wrap it around, and what is very cool, it's like, you put a shirt on.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, I feel like, and this is part of who I am, because I feel very comfortable. I can dance with it, I can work with it.
Fashion in general is a story, and I feel like blogging is a storytelling art form.
Yeah.
And right now I feel like the platform is so saturated with all of these stories, and it's harder for people to break in and tell their own story through blogging. So how have you been able to navigate the blogging industry, even though there's so many people in it and so many people that want to make it?
Bloggers started to being paid, so it became a job, so more people are interested about this. So it's very competitive, and today I feel like with the algorithm in Instagram, and you don't have a new social media platform, it's more and more complicated to start. But it means you need to work. I never stop working, I never stop answering emails, I never stop, you know, thinking about new way to improve my blog, to improve my Pinterest, to improve my Instagram. At one point I thought it's not that smart to just focus on one thing. Like what you do, you have a blog, you do Instagram, you do video content, which is, I mean, the best thing to do. When you see that you have IGTV, then you see how YouTube is going on, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really is all about just utilizing your different talents and what you bring to the table as a blogger.
Exactly.
So side note, Julia was referring to the fact that I also am a fashion blogger, but, you know, also a talk show host.
Yes.
But I think, it's what you yourself have to say to the world that's different. And I think the reason why it got so hard, and you might think differently, I don't know, was because people started focusing less on the storytelling and more about being an influencer.
Yes, but I feel like it's always, when I started to be a blogger, really at the beginning, people were just asking me, how I can be famous. And they were not, you know, thinking about what is the story I want to tell, what I want to share. And me, I wanted to reach an audience about you know, to bring my culture and to better understand the American culture. There was really like a need. And when people say, oh, I just want, you know, to be famous and to go to party, I thought, oh, do reality TV.
You're not really doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, exactly. It's really about what is your niche, what is your story, why you are doing that, because it takes time.
It's still a job, you know, it's not, it doesn't look as effortless as Julia makes it look, you know? You have amazing, amazing photography. Who takes your photos?
Thank
your husband?
you. So when I started, it was my husband, because I'm kind of, I'm not a model, you know, I'm a normal girl, so I was not used to create contents with, you know, people I don't know.
Yeah.
So during 1 year, it was only my husband, and even with other girls, I was very shy, you know. No, it's okay, I don't want to take a picture.
No, that's how I feel too. Whenever I would go to a restaurant or a coffee shop, I'd always want that cute, like, cafe photo. Yeah. But then I'd be like, oh no, people are watching me. Like, this feels awkward.
And when you start, actually, and you don't have a husband or you don't have a boyfriend, with Facebook, you can find photographers, you can find blogger friends.
So that's a good tip.
Yeah.
I use my mom when she's in town. Yeah. She's my photographer.
Oh, that's
or friends.
Cool. Yeah.
So speaking of, you know, meeting people, I know at Paris Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, you meet a lot of people.
Yes.
And I've heard kind of different things about the connections of Fashion Week. Do you feel like you really can build these lasting relationships with people in such a intense environment?
So it depends what you are looking for. So if you are looking to build a relationship with a designer, Fashion Week is not the right time, because they are very busy. And they are stressed.
Yeah, no, they have a lot going on.
It's very expensive to do a show, so everything is about the show, and when it's over, they are exhausted. But you can meet photographers, you can meet actually reporters, journalists, bloggers, and the more and more you see them, the more and more you go to Fashion Week. It's not like just doing one Fashion Week. It's like going and be there at not every Fashion Week, but at least once a year. It really helps to create, you know, like building a relationship.
I don't know about you, but I love going to Fashion Week because of the fashion itself, learning the new trends that you can find on the runways.
Yes.
So since you just got back from Fashion Month, I wanted to go over some of the trends that were seen at the different fashion weeks that you went to.
Yes.
So we're gonna go over it. It's a little segment that I like to call the Clothing Intelligence Agency, or better known as the CIA.
Oh, I love this.
Thank you, thank you. First of all, I came in pink and red for this very purpose, because it's gonna be in again. I saw it like in Anne Sui, like there was a lot of pink and red dresses, like in floral prints. You know, in Gucci, they had like a chunky red sweater with pink tights.
So pink and red is, for me, it's the 80s, and the 80s are coming up. I mean, for fall, you have a lot of designers inspired by the 80s, so it will be in, you know, very big shoulder, or, you know, like bold colors. And pink and red are colors that always are very bold, but are kind of different about what you used to see. And I mean, you remember someone who used, you know, like, because pink is very feminine, but red is very, you know, aggressive. So it's
sultry.
Yeah, it's very, you know, an interesting combination. Yes, it's very stylish.
Thank you, thank you. It's actually really exciting. This is a Karl Lagerfeld blazer.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's homage to him as well, because he, you know, passed, and I just think he's a genius and he deserves to be celebrated.
Oh yes, for sure. I was very, you know, sad by his death, but also I feel like he gave a very strong heritage, because what is Chanel? Chanel is a beautiful tweed blazer.
Right.
So it can be boring to see beautiful tweed blazer for years and years, and each time we were surprised about how he was able to restyle it, to repurpose it. For me, he is the best stylist in the world.
He just has such a unique vision, and I mean, you were talking about how he always reinvented tweed.
Yeah.
His last show, which was this past show, that was the last thing he ever designed.
Yeah.
I thought he did such a great job putting houndstooth with tweed.
Yeah, exactly. I love this print, and I love how, you know, he created very long coats, and I love the way he played with different, you know, very graphic prints.
Yes, it's definitely cool how they mix like tweed trousers with a houndstooth jacket, and you would think it clashes, but that's the other trend, right? Black, white and ruffled all over. Tons of texture.
Exactly.
But still making it flow very nicely. And Rodarte did a great job with this as well.
Exactly.
These looks seem like they wouldn't be very wearable.
Yeah.
But I think that fashion designers have started to kind of blend the fantasy of fashion with more wearability. What do you think about that?
Yeah, exactly. Because there is this minimal trend and or norm core, you know, like very normal, back to basic, but in the same time, you need to have fun with clothes. I used to work in finance before being a blogger, and I remember I was wearing, you know, a pink jacket. The first time I was wearing that, everyone was looking at me. And then they say, you know, when you wear it the second time, the first time, third time, they say, yes, this is Julia.
Yeah.
And this is the way, if you feel good in your clothes and you feel like they make you empowered and they make sense with your personality, you should definitely wear it.
You just got back from Fashion Month,
yes.
But what are some other projects that you have coming up?
So I never did a couture week because I love ready-to-wear. I feel like ready-to-wear makes sense as a blogger because you need to advise on style, and style is more ready-to-wear than couture. But I want to do, you know, to do something else, and I feel like you can express other things with couture, and I am at a point where I feel like I want to express something.
Yeah.
So next thing will be the couture week for me.
Oh, amazing. Are you going to the one this summer?
Yes.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Something to know about Fashion Week, you are invited last minute.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so you really like, I have my contacts.
Yeah.
So I know for some shows for sure, but other ones you are just like, okay, crossing finger and saying, oh, I'm ready.
You're like, okay, gotta book this flight to Paris now. Like,
yeah, I mean, this is an advice actually. If you want to go to Fashion Week, just book your flight and then reach out.
Really?
Yes, it's really that. The first time I did it, because no one told me, Julia, you will have your answer just a week before.
That's stressful.
Yeah, that's very stressful. But in any way, if you book your flight, and you go there, you will still find invitation. I mean, there are so many things happening and you will meet people. And if you are not invited, just go to the show, meet people. Mm-hmm. At the end of the show, or ask, you know, find an angle. Like if you are not invited to a show that you like, maybe you can just ask people who went, how was the show?
Oh,
I mean, it's a good idea to, you know, to start a conversation. And for me, fortunately, I was invited, but it's just because I was reaching out, sending emails.
It's all about the hustle, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, speaking of great advice that you can give, what is like one piece of advice that you would give anyone just starting out and wanting to be a fashion blogger? You have to engage with the people and the brand which inspires you. Yeah. So it's really about not just thinking, oh, I will post my photo and that's it. No. You need to engage, you need to be part of this universe and to understand who are, you know, the main players, and you are your friends and, you know, people you want to network with. So it's not just about creating content. It's all about like authentic interactions with people. Exactly. Yeah. So you need to speak with your audience too. For me, it was when I created my platform, it was also to meet people and to be able to engage and to better understand, you know, even better understand, you know, why people are on Instagram. And I thought they all want the same thing as me. They want to be inspired. Yeah. They want to start a discussion. So for me, it was easy to discuss about French fashion because, you know, so it's just finding your storytelling, finding your niche, finding your audience. And I'm sure people are like wanting to start a conversation with you. So with that being said, where can we find you? What are your social handles? Yes, so on Instagram, Pinterest, I'm Julia Comil, C-O-M-I-L. Yeah, we'll put it up as well. Yes. And so Pinterest is very important for me also, and you can reach me on Pinterest. You can also DM me on Instagram. I'm every day on Instagram. Not every hour, but maybe sometimes. Yeah, she'll answer. Yeah. That's how we found each other too. Exactly. She's pretty good at interacting with people. Yeah, it's my favorite way to speak with people, and on my blog. And what I like, you know, with people on the blog, when they ask questions, it's very detailed. Yeah. And you have time to give, you know, like references. And sometimes I'm inspired by the question people ask me on my blog. It would create a new blog post. Amazing. Yeah. Wow, well, I mean, it's always great to interact with people because it's a two-way street of inspiring each other. Yeah. And you can also interact with me
at Keeping It Krischic, as well as on my website where this episode will be posted, keepingitchrischic.com. And as usual, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure to have Julia.
Thank you so much for having me.